back to Twitch Presents on this Doctor Who marathon. Holy moly, we've just seen all of the Doctor, as far as many people are concerned, with the Scarfed Who.
Yeah. 7 years worth.
7 years. Oh, it flew by.
Yeah.
Who's up next?
So the story so far is the fourth Doctor has been battling the Master at the top of a radio telescope, but in doing so, plummets to his death.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So he then regenerates into this youngest of the Doctors, Peter Davison. And here he is, the man
Brother
himself.
of Jim.
Well, his real name is actually Peter Moffat, but Peter Davison
really?
is his stage name. Yeah,
Oh, that's funny, because then obviously Stephen Moffat wrote the...
Yeah, and just to make things even
no
more...
relation.
Just to make things even more confusing, his daughter is married to David Tennant.
What?
Yeah.
Is that how he got the role?
Well, David Tennant?
Yeah.
Oh, no. David Tennant met his wife when she was playing the Doctor's daughter.
He married his own daughter?
I know. What's going on?
That's crazy. That's crazy. I know the midwife who delivered their child. So there you go. That's my Doctor Who fact. It's not actually that interesting. So this is he lives and breathes Doctor Who.
Yeah.
He is all about the Doctor.
Yeah. He can't escape.
But as
it.
the youngest Doctor at the time, was there a lot of disrespect thrown his way?
Yeah, some people were a bit not sure about him. He was referred to a lot as the wet vet because at this point Peter Davison was playing Tristan in All Creatures Great and Small. He was a vet.
He was a vet.
Yeah, so...
Not a veteran, he was just a veterinarian.
He was a veterinarian, yeah. He plays the part as very much an older man trapped in a younger man's body.
Oh, enjoying it.
Quite innocent with things, he runs around a lot, he gets a squeaky voice when he gets all uptight and stuff, but, you know, he still says stuff like old chap and stuff like that. So, you know, the ethos of the Doctor...
Does he marvel of his youthful strength ever? Oh, I'm so young! I can lift things!
No, not really.
No, okay.
No.
Okay.
He plays cricket for a bit. I mean, as you can see, he's got a cricket jumper.
Yeah.
On.
What's the deal with the... Was it a leek? Is it a...
This is a stick of celery.
Stick of celery?
Yeah.
Why not?
Well, there is a reason.
Okay.
But it only gets discovered in his very last story.
I like that. That's a nice play-off, that is.
Yeah.
That's because they didn't have a reason, and then they're like, guys, we should probably explain the celery stick.
That is exactly it. So let's see if one of these
who have we
special
got?
guests
Yeah, exactly. Who have we
can
got with
explain to us what the celery is all about. So we have Beth from the Time Ladies.
Hello, Beth.
We have Tom Spilsbury, former editor for Doctor Who magazine, and we have Billy Garrett John from the Review of Death. So, celery.
What's the deal with celery?
Does anyone know?
Who wants to explain this?
I think it detects certain gases in the
Praxis
range.
range.
It turns purple in the presence of certain gases to which the Doctor is allergic.
Mm-hmm.
So
if it goes purple, he's like, well, I'm in danger.
So he's the first Doctor to do this?
Yeah.
And I guess also the last Doctor to do this.
Yeah.
No
Actually,
one else is going to wear celery.
Although actually, funny you should say that, in one of Matt Smith's stories, when he's been unconscious and comes around, he asks for celery. He sticks the stick of celery under Peri's nose to try and bring her around. Because apparently for Time Lords, celery has very rejuvenating properties, but not for humans. For humans, it's
slightly for human. Otherwise, why is he doing it to Perry?
Yeah. I think, but it doesn't work though, does it? She doesn't come round, and he's like...
Yeah, I think she hasn't quite got the
nostrils for it.
The appropriate bits that...
I hope we can go in depth for like 15 minutes on celery and just glaze over in the last 5 about, and then let's have a look at the monsters. But that's cool. So, I mean, I'm not convinced with the celery at this point, but I'll wait and see. Obviously, if and when it pays off, that might make it all the more beautiful.
Can I make another observation about the celery?
It's not real.
Well, it's not real because he picks it up in Castrovalva, which is made of block transfer computation, and therefore it's not real celery. But then he changes it in Enlightenment, which I think also suggests it's not real celery because it's all just been created by the Eternals, I think.
Yeah, so he never
it's never a real celery.
Wow.
But then in the final he uses it as celery.
Yeah.
It's amazing technology.
I don't know if that says a lot about the Fifth Doctor's character that we spent most of this episode talking about the celery on his costume.
So, this is Tegan Javanka.
Tegan. What's her surname?
Javanka.
Javanka, of course, that's fine.
She's Australian. She's an air hostess.
Okay.
So she actually is introduced with Tom Baker's Doctor, but she's more Peter Davison's companion.
Yeah.
Do you know how... Well, the way that she...
No, it's fine. Carry on. Yeah, there we go. It's
All
fine.
of those penis jokes and it's thick.
That's
I know,
fine.
this is
yeah,
the one that gets you.
exactly. I just like this Australian, kind of
Javanka.
Yeah,
Well,
Javanka.
it was going to be a first name.
That was gonna be a first name, yeah.
Because so the story goes. When they were trying to decide what to call her, they wrote down Tegan Javanka, thinking she could be called Tegan or she could be called Javanka.
Yeah.
And they thought, well, why not have both?
Why not?
She could be Tegan
Tegan
Javanka.
Javanka. Yeah.
The more we say Javanka, the
It's
more...
brilliant. I love it.
Yeah.
So,
Javanka.
Name your next child, Javanka.
I like the idea of that. I like the idea. It's going on the list. Miss Javanka.
Miss Javanka,
was
yeah.
an air hostess.
And she met the doctor when her car broke down with
Okay.
her auntie Vanessa in it.
Okay.
And she saw a police box on the side of the road, went to call for a repairman to come and sort them out. And instead, she ended up going inside the TARDIS and
Just left her out there.
Well, her aunt was unfortunately killed by the Master, shrunk down to the size of a doll with a tissue compression eliminator.
Wow.
It gets glossed
What a-
over
what a-
pretty
what a way to-
quickly.
yeah,
She
exactly, yeah.
sheds a few tears, and then that's sort of it for Auntie
it.
Vanessa.
Was she a Javanka as well, or was it the other side?
Oh, I don't know.
Who knows?
Vanessa Javanka.
Vanessa
Vanessa
Javanka.
Javanka.
Oh my god.
Who knows?
It's getting
Who
worse.
knows?
One of life's
So-
great mysteries.
So, how does she get on with our new doctor then?
So she has a bit of a bad relationship with the Doctor because she doesn't really want to be there. She ends up getting caught in events with the Fourth Doctor, and then the Fifth Doctor can never really get her back to Heathrow, which is where she just wants to go.
She just wants to get back on
she
a
wa-
flight.
she wa- yeah, exactly.
I like how she doesn't want to just go back home. She wants to go to Heathrow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She wants to get straight back to her
good.
job.
Yeah,
She doesn't want time to come back and adjust.
It's her first day in the job.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
And
She's not even
it's
done
like,
it.
you want to make a good impression.
Yeah.
You know,
She's probably a bit late.
And then
for
you
the
turn
house
up
and
late in a police
I
bar.
don't think
many
you can.
centuries
Can you
later.
turn up late in a time machine? Surely
Well,
not.
I mean, if you've got the Doctor piloting it.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe.
She stays throughout all of Peter Davison's 3 years. as
Oh,
the
really?
Doctor.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
yeah, yeah.
Okay.
So this is Nyssa. So again, she's introduced in the Tom Baker era towards the end of his run in a story called The Keeper of Traken. Her father is unfortunately possessed by the Master, who is on his last regeneration, and he steals his body. And then the Master in Tom Baker's last story subsequently destroys her home planet and everyone on it,
Wow.
as well as many other parts
And
of the
in
universe.
fact, her entire home galaxy.
Yeah, yeah,
It's
yeah.
not just her planet. It's
Wow.
like, you know,
Everything.
It's
Time
basically.
doesn't really have anywhere to go at this point.
So she hops on the TARDIS out of necessity.
Well, yeah, really.
Ness-
She's
Necessity.
Yeah. She is a genius. She's a scientist like her dad was before he became the Master.
Does she confront the Master and have an
There
opportunity
are
to
a
defeat
couple of
him?
moments where
Yeah.
she kind of references it's very odd seeing my father
Yeah.
talking to me like that
Yeah.
with that weird beard and that different hair.
Yeah.
But yeah, there are a couple of face-offs.
Sorry, he grows the beard and hair.
Well, no,
Well,
he
no,
had,
because-
he, had,
no.
he had a big bushy grey beard,
Yeah,
long grey hair,
and long- yeah.
and then it all goes and it's slicked
He
back
slicks it
black,
back
and
and he
he's got
gets
a
the
little black
goatee going again.
Because when you possess
doesn't
someone, you possess them, and then
You know.
their facial hair matches. I like
Yeah,
Absolutely.
it matches your
that.
personality.
Otherwise, you'd be like, "Are you really the Master?" Oh, yeah, I see. Yeah.
The goatee. So yeah, Turlo, a schoolboy, even though he looks about 25, he's
Oh,
like,
he-
he's going to be 16, 17?
He looks a lot older than he is.
Yeah.
He doesn't really get along with anyone. He's quite manipulative. He's quite a grumpy, weaselly kind of kid who causes a lot of problems at his school. I mean, he's an alien for a start, so he's
right.
basically just been left at this private school, and he's kind of running riot.
Maybe
and-
that explains why he looks so old.
Yeah.
You know, he was trying to look young, and he's an alien. He doesn't know.
It's quite an interesting idea for a Doctor Who companion because he's actually been employed by
Black
this
Guardian.
malevolent entity called the Black Guardian to kill the Doctor. So although he doesn't really want to do it, but
No.
he's kind of, he's obviously been promised sort of
riches and stuff, and he
all that to
carries
do
this
that.
crystal
So
around
he's-
with him that the Black Guardian communicates with him. So now and again, they'll wander off, and he'll talk to the Black Guardian, and he'll be like, "Do it, kill him." And there's a couple of moments where he becomes relatively close, and he
Shia
can never
LaBeouf,
quite
yeah.
pulls the trigger.
Do it! He picks up a rock and goes
really?
to smack the Doctor in the head with it. But
Does the Doctor look round and he goes, "Sorry, just working out." And so does the Doctor know throughout? Does he turn around and be like, "I knew all along, I'm the Doctor"?
I don't think he knows quite the extent all the way through to Turlo's ends, but eventually it does
Yeah,
kind
he
of
knows
unravel.
there's
you know.
something suspicious
Yeah.
about this
Yeah.
schoolboy. Who
And
looks like an adult.
Javanka, Tegan knows straight away that something's up with him, and she's very suspicious of him all the way through, and she knows that he's planning something.
Oh, is that a guy?
So that is Chameleon.
Chameleon.
He is a robot that can
Play the
change-
lute.
It can play the lute and change its appearance.
And it chooses to look like that. That's always
Well,
impressive.
that's
isn't it?
its basic form. That's,
Okay.
that's how he looks.
You're always shaming these
Well, I
creatures
just-
for their natural
it feels. I mean, I don't know. I'm not gonna go too far into this. So,
Well,
so
Please don't.
If you
for
were
all
to,
of our
if you,
sakes.
if you were to diss the robot,
Yes.
don't feel too bad about it, because this character comes aboard the TARDIS, is never seen for a year. They realise that, actually, Chameleon's like in the cupboard somewhere on the TARDIS. We better get him out, write a story around him, just so we can write him out of the programme.
There's kind of a reason for it all as well, because unlike most Doctor Who robots, in fact, I think Chameleon, maybe if not unique, close to unique. He actually is a robot. That's not a man dressed as a
suit.
robot.
Yeah.
That is a real robot.
really?
Which
wow.
kind of moved in a sort of
in a sort
jerky
of
fashion.
Yeah.
but unfortunately, as you know, is prone to happen, he didn't really work that well, and kind of didn't sort of do what needed to be done
down
when the
regularly.
cameras were running.
And something we should say as well is there's an awful lot of overlap between these companions. The TARDIS gets extremely crowded, which in some episodes means that people are literally just sent into the TARDIS to do stuff while the other companion, just so the writers can have them in the story.
Yeah.
They need to do something with them, and so they're often carted off to the TARDIS to hold onto a button to make sure the world doesn't explode or something.
Yeah.
How does Chameleon go?
Well, the Doctor kills him.
Does he? Has it been established that this is a kind of a
literally-
sentient robot?
Yeah, he literally begs the Doctor to kill him.
Oh, really? Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Disguised as his other companion's stepdad.
It's
Stay tuned. It'll be a good night.
Yeah.
It's a mercy. I mean,
Mercy.
Yes, must get for all of us.
Euthanasia on
Children's
television.
But why did he want to die? Why did this robot want to die?
Because the master was.
He was kind of in his head, really, and
Yeah,
I think
you could never escape him. I think that was the idea.
Chameleon was like, I'm never gonna, I'm gonna do something terrible unless you kill me. So
okay.
it's a mercy for
But I thought
everyone.
he'd do that disguised as someone else because he was actually a robot and couldn't act. He could only play 3 chords.
Well,
Just Wonderwall. All right, we've heard Wonderwall, Chameleon. All right, next song, please.
So let's take a look at some monsters.
Okay. Oh,
Right.
okay. That is a snake.
Yep.
Oh, but it's a giant snake. Look, there's people next to it. Okay. And they're showing it its reflection. It's trying on a new set of scales. And it's like, you know what? My tail doesn't look big in this. I like it. It's good. Thank you, guys. And they're all just saying, like, yeah, you look great. You look really good. It's an affirmation snake.
bang on.
Yeah.
Weird, isn't it?
Yeah.
So this is the Mara. This is a creature that lives on another plane, the dark places of the insiders, as they describe it. And so this is set on a planet called Vida Loca.
Living.
Vida Loca, yeah.
With their great matriarch
Well,
of
if
Ricky Martin.
Tegan falls asleep, and this entity possesses her.
Oh, really?
And it's actually sort of like a bit of a story arc throughout 2 seasons. You know, great story, very weird, just very strange.
Does it hypnotise people? And are they trying to make it hypnotise itself? What's the deal with the mirrors?
It's scared of its own reflection. Like evil cannot see its own face.
I think possibly the picture you have there doesn't show off the Mara in its best light.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Because this sort of inflatable pink snake
it looks like it's
there is sort
It's
of how
like
it.
he's laughing.
Yeah,
Giggling
it's
having a great time.
It's not one of Doctor Who's all-time great effects, but what it does have, I think, is in the sort of more spooky aspects
Yeah.
of
When it's
it
possessing
invading your
people,
mind
yeah.
and so on. It's really
All
quite
the stuff with Tegan, where she's like in that weird dream world,
Yeah.
is fantastic. I mean, Kinder's one of my favourite Doctor Who stories, just because it's just so strange and surreal, and it's it's very unlike so many other stories.
Especially from that era.
Yeah.
All right, let's have a look at the next monster. Oh wow! It's a merman.
Yeah, well, it was based off of a tropical fish. I think that's how the design came about. That is a pteroleptil. We were talking before about how you like stories where they go back in time, and then a historical event is caused by aliens. Well, these guys are the cause of the Black Death.
Oh, right. So it wasn't fleas on rats. It
Well,
was.
it was.
So they do send rats out.
But they've put a deadly virus on the rats.
Oh.
Yeah.
Did they put it on the fleas? Or no,
No,
they put it on the rats,
they
and
put
the
it on the
fleas, then they bit. I see, okay.
This is also the last story that we see the sonic screwdriver in.
Oh, really?
Because this guy gives it a zap with a laser gun and destroys it.
And no one since makes one?
Well, Sylvester McCoy gets one in the TV movie, but we're not showing the TV movie, so we
Okay,
can't talk
don't worry
about
about that. Oh, wow.
Oh yeah.
Holy moly. So it's like a brainy skeleton bird. Is he the cuckoo? And he's obsessed with time. And this time traveller offends him. Cuckoo! Like that.
Now, that is the Ergon.
Okay.
He is a creature composed entirely of antimatter.
Like
Omega, because
yeah.
this is Omega's servant. Omega makes a comeback in this story.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Here, it's actually quite a good design.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, when you see it moving,
In motion, it's less so.
it's a bit wobbly.
Yeah,
okay.
And it's often been like the source of a bit of stick. When you see like clip shows, let's laugh at Doctor
It's
Who,
either this or the
it's like,
Merca or
Oh, I
Does
should
it
put the Merc
speak?
on it.
Does it speak,
Oh.
or does it just like
No.
I mean, possibly, when you're sort of looking at a monster like that, which I think actually is a rather brilliant bit of design.
Yeah.
It's sometimes the way something's shot. It's sort of, if it looks really sort of bright and not necessarily sort of shown in the most dramatic way. And it's kind of look ridiculous.
And it's annoying because there's segments of it that are shot quite nicely with the green lighting in Omega's kind of when he's trying to rejuvenate himself, and this is never seen in that environment. Always shot in either the harsh light of the times or in the cellars underground.
Like even in the crypt.
Yeah,
it's
in
still
the crypt.
brightly lit. You know? Yeah. So they go to Gallifrey, the Doctor Stone planet, and the head of the Chancery Guard is played by an actor called Colin Baker, who will go on to play Peter Davison's replacement.
Oh, really?
Who is the next Doctor. So, like Peter Capaldi, who also played another character in Doctor Who before he played the Doctor.
I see. Okay.
Colin Baker was the first to do it.
I see.
And he actually shoots the Doctor. So the joke is that he
shot himself.
He shot his predecessor to get the job.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a smart way of doing it.
It is.
It's really strange. I find if I put
if you watch
Arc
it back,
of Infinity, obviously you wouldn't have known that at the time.
No.
But I don't know. Similarly,
I
if you
think,
see the fires of Pompeii, you can.
I think he looks much cooler in his Arc of Infinity outfit.
with his
That
weird
time worn outfit.
peacock feather head thing going
Did
on.
they know at the time?
Badass.
No.
No. It was sort of on the basis of that they were like,
They're like, he's fantastic.
Yeah.
Because
He should be our next
he's
Doctor.
very good. He's really good playing that type of Time Lord. Yeah, he's really good in it.
The character's Commander Maxwell, and he's kind of acting like this is his show, right?
Do they kind of explain it? Like, because you talked before about how they kind of pick their face from their past.
The Capaldi one was explained, but no, less so with this one. I don't think they ever really touch on
I think
it.
generally the explanation is that the Doctor remembers past faces and can pick from them occasionally.
I'll choose the face of the man who shot me.
If you want.
I was thinking about the Sixth Doctor and Maxwell bumping into each other.
Oh yeah,
That'd be very interesting. There's one for Big Finish.
At one point, I think Commander Maxwell might have been going to be in the Five Doctors.
Oh really?
Oh right.
Quite an early point.
Yeah,
Obviously, it's the first time they've gone back to Gallifrey afterwards. But I think by that stage,
was he
it was kind of in the
contention?
frame, and so I think it didn't happen.
But I'm looking forward to seeing this now.
Yeah.
So we get to watch through this. This is how many years worth of content?
This is 3 years
3
worth
years.
of Peter
worth
Davison
of
as Doctor
content.
Who.
Okay, so 3 years. It's going to be a little while. So we will be back to talk more about Doctor Who after we've watched through all of this stuff.
Yeah.
See you in a bit.